Hello friends, this is Ifa. Welcome back to the last plan with me video of this year. This is the last month in this bullet journal and I am very upset about it because this notebook was my favorite, but yeah, I have to let go 2023 with this notebook as well. And this month's theme is very different, and I think I didn't make this theme in 7 years of creative bullet journaling. So this month the theme is vintage wintery theme, which is pretty unique I think, but I tried to pull up the theme pretty nicely I think. So for this theme I will paint this illustration with my watercolors and a little bit of gouache paint, and also I'm going to add some junk journaling elements in my bullet journal. I won't be planning out the whole month at once this time like my last 2 months, but I think it will be very fun to decorate this whole bullet journal together. So let's talk about this theme. So firstly I would like to show you some of my products for this theme, which is these window frame cutouts, which I have included in my recent shop update, and you'll get this in the vintage collection. So at first I wanted to use this arch window cutout in my cover page, so I started tracing out the inner part of this window, and I am using my sharp X-Acto knife to cut out the page. I didn't want to cut my page in the bottom, so I am using this cardboard from a random packaging, and I think it helped a lot because it was pretty squishy to cut through. Anyways, so the window I am using here is the double-sided window that I made. And here you can see that the window can be folded like this and can be open. So anyways, I have stretched out the inner part of the cutout first so that I can paint the painting that I have told you before. And I also wanted to focus on some point for this illustration, so I have stretched out the cutout first so that it can be seen from the other side of this window. I'm sketching out a tree which will be in front and can be seen through from the window cutout. I am roughly sketching this because it's not going to be too much impact on my painting. For this illustration, I'm using my Winsor & Newton watercolor palette. I've been using this watercolor for 5 years and it's still new to me and I really like it a lot. Anyways, for this painting I will be using too much water, so I know the paper is going to be very warped after finishing the whole painting. So for the first step I am just painting with a bit of blue color here with a lot of water so that I can create grayish sky in the top. Then I am blending pink paint so that it looks like it's in the evening, and also I will add some more details here so that it looks like a sky. After painting the sky, the next step is to paint the background forest. For the forest I am going to use a very grayish green color with mixture of little lamp black and also this olive green color. I didn't want to put too much detail on it. So the first step here is to paint the tree shapes with very undetailed strokes, and I really didn't have to think too much about it. You can see here the strokes are not too prominent and I left some white spaces here. Also the colors are not too opaque. It was pretty watery and I keep it that way. At this point my hand slipped on this paper and I wasn't very sure what to do, but I thought I can fix it when I started painting the tree. And later you'll see that it doesn't even bother you too much bad. After this one layer of trees, I am going to paint closer trees with a little bit of opaque colors, and for that I am using a bit dark green shade for that. Later I will add darker and opaque colored trees here. If you see closely here, I have painted it with very light strokes, and also I skipped some parts here and there so that it looks like the leaves. I didn't think too much about that and start painting the front trees here, and the trees were much opaque than background trees. So basically I have painted this forest in 3 layers. We don't have snow in Bangladesh, but I think I would love to add some snow into this painting, so I'm not going to color in the bottom. After finishing the trees, I wanted to add a bit of snow in the land, but I thought snow is pretty white, so I really don't have to draw anything here, so I just skip that part for now, and later I will add some gray paints to make some shadows. Anyways, for the front tree, that is the main object of this illustration, I only used this thinner paintbrush with some gray paints. And so for the front tree, at first I am painting the trunk with a very lighter shade, which is a mixture of black and brown, and I didn't thought too much when I started painting, and I started to coloring the trunk and the branches with light strokes, because if we start painting with light strokes, it may look that some of the branches in the behind At first I started painting the whole tree with light strokes. Later I started building up with a bit much opaque color. That gives me the dimension of the whole tree. I hope this makes sense because I'm too bad to explain my painting. Anyways, for the stems or the limbs, I didn't even thought too much about the strokes, and I was randomly creating these lines. You can see that it's just making sense after finishing all of these stems. So basically, all the limbs and branches which are far away from the front was lighter, and the darker limbs or the branches are in the front. I hope it makes sense. After doing all these stem looks, I have added some details in the ground and the trees so that it looks more cohesive with winter. Even though my painting is not after finishing the watercolor part, I am moving to the gouache step. This is the Hemi gouache that I have bought a few months ago, and I'm going to add some snow on the top with this gouache paint. And if you don't have gouache paints, the alternatives can be white gel pen, acrylic paint, poster paint, or any acrylic marker as well. It just need to be a bit more opaque so that the white ink can be showed on dark surface. So basically you need a medium which is white and can be shown on a dark surface. For the snow which are fallen on the tree, I just added thoroughly. I have painted this snow effect with a very thin brush, and I didn't use too much water into this, and I'm just adding the strokes in the edge of each line which can make sense. Also for the behind, I wanted to add some snow in the forest trees, so I added these very light strokes of white to create more snow in the background. That's it for this whole painting. I'm not going to touch this at all, and I will be decorating the front part of my cover page. So for this cover page, I'm going to use some coffee stain papers which I made by my own. then these Patreon printables, which are available on my Patreon, and this time I put a lot of Patreon rewards than before. Anyways, then we have some of the stickers and frame cutouts from my shop, and also some other vintage ephemeras that I have in my home. I am sticking this window with my super trusty roller glue, and I was sure that it can be removed if I do any mistakes, so it was necessary to use this one. After adding this window, I found that I have miscut a bit, so I just trimmed out the window cutout again. For the back of this window, I wanted to add a bit of frame so that it doesn't look too much empty and look cohesive from the back. So I'm cutting the doors of the window and just sticking with my roller glue. After sticking out this whole window thing, I am moving on to the decoration of my front page. So for that, I'm going to use my coffee stain paper first so that it looks cohesive with the other page. In my recent shop update, I have included this frame cutout, which is made on a cardstock paper, and it's very easier to just rip that paper with these dotted cuts. And at first I thought it will be easier to use my X-Acto knife, but it was very risky to cut the inner part of the design, so I just roughly split them out, and I used my scissors to cut out the edges so that there is no extra paper on it. I hope that makes sense. And this cutout can be found as sticker in my shop as well, but for now I want some texture on my notebook, so I'm using this cardstock instead. Anyways, I am adding this coffee stain paper, which I made by my own, and also if you're my Patreon Happy Mail club member, you're getting coffee stain papers with your Happy Mail. And also I've included windows and a butterfly stickers with your Happy Mail. Also there will be some extras in the package too. I wanted to make this whole collage look cohesive, so I'm trying to find out some bluish vintage looking stickers from this sticker book, and I think this page where I have some blues on it, I was very sure that I will just use it, even though this poster card was looking too much for me. So later you'll see me not using this postcard, and I'm going to use this blue colored flower instead. I'll be using some washi tape, the washi tape shop and notebook therapy. I'll be linked all of the supplies that I'm using here in the description if they're still available in their shop. As you can see here, I have used some stamps which I don't like, and I used the coffee stain papers so that I can hide the stamp ink. Now I'm using the sticker sheet which I have made for the vintage shop update, and as you can see here, these are the stickers for using in the background. I was very excited to use all of these vintage stationeries because I have them for years now, and it looks so cohesive with my stickers, and I was very happy with it. As you can see here, some of the stickers are cutting down by me because these are the B-rolls. I didn't want to use any kind of A-grade stickers because I didn't want to waste any sticker which I made for my shop and it didn't turn out to be an A grade. So I'm using it in my bullet journal and I think it's worth it. After sticking out all these background elements, I am using my trusty glue roll to stick out this frame. After adding this frame, there were some spaces left, so I'm using some of my stickers, which is this stamp sticker with a butterfly on it, and later I'll be adding a butterfly on the top. I wanted to add the title in stamped, but I thought it won't be visible too much if I use only stamp in this whole collage. So I used the same paper from this notebook and I wrote the title December with my calligraphy hand lettering style. I was very happy with all of the stickers that I've put here. I'm using a washi tape sticker from Notebook Therapy's Light Academia collection to write the number of December as in 12, but I thought the number was very light if I use the stamps, so I have coloring out the ink with super dried Futonosuke hard tip brush pen. Anyways, my cover page is done, so it is time for finishing up with some other stamps. After adding all the windows, I am finally done with 2-spread interactive cover page. I hope you like this one, and you'll see me using my stickers here and there for a very long time, so I hope you enjoyed this collaging. So the next part is my monthly calendar page. In this page, I am drawing the headers first, and here I am just drawing 7 squared frames to add the header letters of the days of the weeks. And then I am spacing my calendar out here. So this spacing of this calendar is basically 5x5 grid each, and I added 5 rows here. In my country, Friday and Saturday is the weekends. I always start my week with Sunday. In the bottom, I did some mistake here, so I have added 2 dotted lines to cover up this space. And for the decoration of the spread, I am using these craft papers, which I have got from Stationery Pal in a collaboration with them. And also I am using some Patron printables, some of my stickers, and some washi tapes here and there so that it looks cohesive with the theme. So for the Patron printables, I have made these 5 spread of journaling kit, and I also added this vintage sticker sheet, which you can use separately as vintage theme, not vintage winter theme. And also I have this calendar layout, which you can use in your bullet journal, or you can hang it in your wall. If you join today or the last day of November, Patreon won't charge you in December 1st, so it's very easier to get all the rewards if you join in the last day as well. If you join in the last day of my Happy Mail tier, you will get the butterfly stickers, some window cutouts, some coffee stain papers, and some ephemeras, and some extras in your Happy Mail package. That's it for the Patreon, and I would like to thank all of my patrons who have supported me for last 2.5 years, and also I have received a lot of love from you all. I would like to thank you, all of you, my patrons who are currently active here, and I think it's the stable thing that I'm doing in my whole creative career. I genuinely love stamps to use in any kind of vintage decoration in my bullet journal, so I use these stamps to decorate the whole spread. So that's it for my calendar spread as well. For the next spread, I'm making 2 spread journaling kind of layout here, where I will add my habit and workout tracker, shop and content planner, and also some other spreads for the last month. So basically here I have cut out 2 spreads to make it looks like a journal in between a journal. So yeah, and to make this whole vibe out here, I have added this background with my coffee stain papers. I've traced the page here of this inner journal, and I am cutting out coffee stain papers to add in notebook. So after adding paper, I'm done with the background. Before we start decorating the whole spread, I will just make my habit and workout tracker first. For the tracker, I didn't thought too much about it, and I just added a horizontal 2-spread tracker where I will track my habits such as vitamins, self-careness, skincare, etc. And also I will track out workout routine as well. I wanted to make this tracker very simple so that I don't have to think too much. By these habit trackers, if you don't know what habit tracker is, it's basically if I take my vitamins in the day 1st of December, I will cross out the day and so on. So that means if I do that habit, I will just cross that day and it will remark as I've done my work. And in the next spread, I am making my shop task and content planner. For the shop task, I have spaced out 2 spaces where I will generally write down all these shop tasks which I'm going to do for the month, and also the task of my shop update. If you have a small business, you probably know that before the shop update, it's a lot of work. I think I need some spaces for that. And the next or last spread is basically the things that I want to do before 2023 ends. So here I am adding a space for reflection, thoughts for the month, and also what I want to do and what worked out for me or what achieved for me this month or for the whole year. Yeah, that's it for this monthly spreads. Now it's time to decorate the sides of the spread. For decorating the spread, I am going to use all these stickers that I have here. I am using this washi tape from the washi tape shop, and then I am using these butterfly stickers which I absolutely love. I have this traveling Thames which was very sticky because I didn't use it for a year, and it took me a lot of time to recover it from the plastic. And then I used these stamps from the vintage rose collection of notebook therapy. Then I've used some of the stickers from my vintage collection, and I am done with this decoration steps. And also I wanted to add some vintage writing here, calligraphy writing here, but I was very lazy, so I used this stamps from vintage rose collection from notebook therapy, and thoroughly I just pressed here and there so that it looks like a vintage paper. And that's it for this spread as well. So the next spread is going to be my weekly spreads for December, and I'm going to use a Dutch door again, but this time I will space a lot of spaces for this Dutch door, and this is going to be kind of like a rolling weekly layout. So for this video, I'm going to decorate the main spaces of this whole Dutch door and the first spreads for you, and later I will post about the other weeklies with the decorations in my Instagram account. So let's get started with this Dutch door. So for the Dutch door, I am spacing 2 pages for this Dutch door at first, because I wanted to add 2 pages in a Dutch door for a week. So if I say that the first page is not going to be in a tab, but the second page will have a tab. For 2-page intervals, I will add a tab because I wanted to add 2-page Dutch doors for each weekly. That means I will space out 2 days for each spread. So this can be very much confusing here, but I think you can see what I'm doing here. So the first page was cut down fully, but the second spread has a tab, and then the third spread has no tabs on it, and the fourth spread has on it, and so on. And by doing this, I have spaced out 3 tabs here, and so the last spread won't have any tabs. It will contain some decorations on it. So for the decoration, I am going to use my window cutout here, which I absolutely love, with this different decoration pieces. I'm going to use this larger post stamp, which I have cut out from this sticker book for the cover page, and I'm going to use it here. This year has been very much difficult for me. I think in the last month of 2022, I have chosen a word change as the word of the year, and yes, 2023 came with lots of changes in my life. There were some good ones and some bad ones. I will just mention some of the good ones, like I got the monetization payment in 2023 first. I opened my shop in this year, and I have changed a lot in this year as well. So I will say that is a negative impact on me, but I don't know. Anyways. So I haven't posted for a long time. I have filmed a lot of videos, but I couldn't edit it properly and have the final results with me, but I think I will post thoroughly. I hope I will be more active in the long run, and 2024 might be the better year for you all and for me as well than 2023. So yeah. So that's it for this whole setup. I hope you like this whole setup because it's very different from the things that I always do. And also this is going to be the last few spreads from my favorite Tsukikuma notebook here, and it's time to say goodbye to this notebook, even though you'll see this whole notebook in another video which is going to be uploaded in December, where I will flip through the notebooks that I've used in 2023. So anyways, I hope I see you in the next video, and till then, stay safe and healthy. Bye bye.